And we're live. Hi there, and welcome to another episode of At the Gig. I'm one of your hosts, Jared.
And I'm the other one of your hosts, Kieran, and this is At the Gigs episode 32.
32, wow.
Jesus, we just churning them out in quarantine. As soon as we couldn't go to gigs, it's all we can think about is podcasting.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, how have you been this week, Jared?
Yeah, I've been good. Another week, another lockdown, but I think the At the Gigs momentum is keeping me going, watching the news, making notes, moving the needle.
Making sure that, an alternative to, everybody's watching the news and they're just seeing these death counts and, new cases. This is a fun kind of news,
Yeah,
it's
coronavirus-free zone. Yeah, exactly. We don't need no coronavirus.
You've been tested, right? Negative, right?
Negative, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Check this
gigs.
one.
Yeah, that's it. We are coronavirus free.
We're offering tests to any famous people who want to get interviewed by us.
Yeah, we will totally do that. We'll foot the bill for that. Anything for those views.
Yeah.
Rogan tests everybody that goes into a studio.
Yeah, God, that man is privileged.
Yeah, if only we had people. If only we had a studio, much less people to come into it.
Yeah.
Much less.
If only we had a lot of things, but of course I admire him, but he even has security at that compound. He must be spending a lot of money. That whole thing is just running all the time without him even being there.
Yeah. No, it'd be cool to have such a thing, but a lot of maintenance, I guess. He makes fuck you money from the podcast, but I'm sure a lot of that goes back into the podcast and how it.
Yeah, just keeping it chugging. Do you get paid to be on a show, or is it just favors or promoting your book?
Well, yeah. Then you wonder, say when somebody's on it and they have nothing in particular to promote. I don't understand how that works. My understanding was that they're not really paid, at least on your average podcast. I think I'll look this up because I don't know. Were we ever thinking about interviewing people? We ever have to? I don't know why I looked this up, but yeah, I looked up to see if people were paid in podcasts. I think the general practice was that they weren't, but
I suppose I would accept money, but I wouldn't think of paying someone to be on the show.
No, totally not. No, I mean, I guess it's an opportunity for everybody, right? I think you got to look at it like that.
Pay to play. How about that?
Yeah, that's it. You think we'll ever make the Copy Peppers interview happen?
Yeah. I feel like it won't. It'll be kind of awkward this way. We're not familiar enough.
It has to be
I thought maybe a print interview would be better. Before, is that more realistic? But
and At the Gig zine, maybe.
Yeah.
That actually could be cool.
Yeah, I think I would like to get the Squarespace doing something again. It's nice to have a website, but it would really have to be. It would have to be very regular with the writing, but we'll probably revisit that again.
Totally. Yeah, and then a zine. I mean, there's death, taxes, and zines will make you money. They're the facts of life. Basically.
Yeah, that's it.
So maybe the zine, maybe the website. Maybe our own version of 9 or 9 or an own answer to 9 or 9 we could have.
Someone needs an answer.
Yeah, someone needs an answer. 9 or 10 it could be. But anyway, sorry, what's on the agenda for today?
Today we've a few stories. We've Bono at 60. We've Seinfeld at 65, but we've Electric Picnic cancelled. We have Metallica and their charitable endeavors, and we have Dave Grohl writing a letter everyone already figured was true.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes. So I will go back to number 1, which is Bono at 60.
Bono turned 60. 2 years young.
Yeah. God, it's one of those things where people get older. No, but there's so many of those people you're into are so they're really pushing it. I remember when people were 40, it was people would accuse you why don't you listen to Avril Lavigne? Why are you listening to these old people? But they're only 40. But now people are they're getting up there with getting to retirement age.
No, totally. It's strange. You think it's just as we get older, you know, the time passes quicker, and like our heroes, like people when we were like children. So like, when did you get into YouTube?
Probably maybe like 8 years ago.
8 years ago. I suppose he was still 52, so he's still pushing a healthy age. But you know, they've always been
Yeah,
in consciousness and stuff. And like, it's weird that like in 2000 he was like 40, and like you two were young not that long ago, it would seem. But time is
yeah,
strange.
like yeah. I think yeah, around that era they had their second wind with Beautiful Day, and because they were still relatively young. It's kind of the same as the Chili Peppers with Californication. They had that
Yeah, yeah,
second wind, by the way, and you know they're only kind of just 40. It was
yeah,
just like
yeah.
it's kind of my. I think because of those two bands, it's like my favorite period of a kind of the age of a group. I don't know. It's just
No, no, that makes sense. So like 40 on the dot, thereabouts.
yeah, and then I'm finished.
And yeah, that's
No
it.
more,
But
no less.
yeah, no, that's it's weird. Yeah, I wonder will the Chili's have a revitalized fourth act or whatever act they're in, you know, with their as
They
they go
really
in.
got stung with COVID, considering
Yeah, you know, the
the
biggest news in the
John.
world, and then just kaput.
Yeah, the second biggest story. Imagine John Frusciante has COVID and is dead. Oh, God.
It was yeah, I'll never forget it. Like it was for Shanti, it was Brexit, it was Sinn Féin, the world we're talking about, all of that. And then
Yeah.
COVID just came, and then boom, nothing.
Oh no,
Kaput.
you don't.
It's all we talk about. With
Yeah.
regards to, sorry, go on.
Uh, oh, he's going back to the Bono thing, but did
Oh,
you
yeah.
have another point?
I was going to say about Bono actually as well, so
Okay.
we were both bringing it back.
For the sake of context, yeah, so to celebrate his birthday, he's been writing a fan letter to 60 artists, and he has his playlist available on all the streaming services. So I was listening to that. I didn't listen to it all because 60 songs. That's like
Looking at it now.
that's a long time, but some good stuff. There's I liked Kraftwerk, Prince. It's pretty eclectic. Nothing really that esoteric, but
Yeah.
it's a nice it's nice. And I read a few of his early letters, and it's a nice gesture to thank you for what he says. Like I think to the Kraftwerk guys, because he passed away. Like thank you for sharing him with us, like the public. And you get that he seems sincere, and he's a fan. And I always thought like if you had a relationship with Bono, like you would like him. I didn't think he's like a dick. It's just it's easy to criticize him, I suppose.
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
a public figure.
Yeah, he wears his heart in his sleeve, I guess, and that maybe rubs people the wrong way. But in general,
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
wrong with
Actually,
these listeners.
no. Yeah, actually, Fintan O'Toole did a profile on him. I mean, it was only 2 pages, not much of a profile if you ask me, but saying something that like it's about him being religious in a time of kind of, I suppose in Ireland we're so secular now, and like Bono's kind of he is Christian. I think more like a evangelical. I'm not sure, but I think like sometimes that's part of the flack. Like he doesn't fit in the era. But
Well, it's hard to place him. He's hyper liberal, I guess, and Christian, and like he kind of
yeah,
doesn't
I think
really fit in that kind of peg,
yeah, I think that's how in the States. I think he was able to work with Republicans because he had a religious streak, something like that. But I'm tired of the Irish sentiment with Bono. It's like blah blah blah. Like yeah, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Like I would wager that the people that give him a lot of shit, don't like a single U2 song.
Yeah, and then they still sell out bloody every time. Like it's impossible to get a decent ticket. Like
yeah, yeah. But yeah. So they're called 60 songs that saved my life.
That's a bit too much. But
I know, right? I hate when people say that because it just poses so many questions in my head. Like, also, like, by the way, like, let's see here. Come on now. Where are we at? Billie
Empire
Eilish.
State of Mind. That saved my life.
Was he suicidal back in 2009?
Yeah.
I didn't know that when that came out. Billie Eilish, Everything I Wanted. When did this come out? I don't know.
I think
I guess Billie Eilish saved his life.
Yeah, he was on the cusp. Yeah, I listened to that song. I'm not trying to be resistant, but yeah, I just am into her whole thing. It's just whatever.
Yeah,
Kind of like
I
all
find
the
it all
stuff like it. Yeah.
like I wouldn't like listen to her by choice necessarily, but the songs I've heard are all like better than other shit I've heard.
Yeah, yeah. No, I admired the movement anyway. She's a funny fashion sense as well. It's like this huge, just baggy skater kind of thing is coming back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
And famously disrobed recently at a show because I think she dresses baggy as like to prove a point, I guess, on expectations of women's bodies or something to that effect. But
okay.
she went baggied anyway at a show recently. So
Oh, it broke the internet.
bro, well, it's working according to me. I'm browsing it right now, but yeah, yeah, no, that no, yeah, I guess she's got an interesting aesthetic though, and yeah, I don't find her offensive. Would her song save my life? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's funny actually. If people are like, I'd even say this, like, I'd be bitter because like she had help, but like, who hasn't had someone helping them write songs? Like, it's not. I think it's her
Yeah.
brother or something, but like Karen Carpenter and her brother helped. You know, the Bee
Yeah,
Gees were all brothers. Like, I don't know why I thought that was like incriminating.
if you want to go super kind of cagey into it, like the bass line from "Walking the Wild Side," the Lou Reed song,
Yeah.
like widely regarded to have just been made by a session musician. Just on the
Mm.
day, he played it, Lou Reed liked it. Now it's in the song. Is he credited? I don't think so. That's like, is that
Yeah,
not
yeah.
help? Like a guy just giving you his fucking iconic bass line, like that's help. So if you
Yeah.
won't say Lou Reed got help, then don't say, don't criticize Billie Eilish for it.
Yeah, that's all. That's the same happened to all those with like the James Brown drummers, all those famous drummers. They have all these signature beats that the rappers sample.
Yeah,
Um, I kind of find it funny how there's all these accusations that you know uh, popular music was stolen from the Delta, Mississippi, and all these blues artists have Elvis ripped them off, blah blah blah. But it's like, what about all
yeah,
these rappers like sampling drum beats that I don't even think those drummers see
yeah,
any
yeah.
payment from? It's like, hello, like who's the real bad guy at the moment? Like,
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, like I mean, it's everything builds from everything and unintentionally steals from things, and sometimes intentionally steals from things or samples, as they say.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know? But
Tom Petty let the Red Hot Chili Peppers away with it.
I always like that. I like going through who he sued and who he didn't sue, just to be like, fuck you, and those guys are cool, because like there's a few cases, Sam Smith,
Oh, really? Did he? He had
Stay
issues
with
with him.
Me. I think his estate might have sued him, but
All
Stay With
right,
Me.
stay with me. Okay, yeah. What's that
Can you
like?
get it? Won't back down.
All right.
So think about it. Won't back down. No, I won't back down. Stay
Oh yeah,
with
and
me.
yeah, right. Oh, the very high bit in
Well,
stay with
just
me. Yeah,
the kind of the yeah, but
wow.
it's interesting though. I always like seeing who he went after and who he didn't. The Strokes, did he go after the Strokes for Last Night and American Girl?
Oh right, yeah, yeah, I could see that. Um,
Yeah, the
yeah,
man's
it's curious. I wonder, yeah, like how, um, like if you let too many things go, like how much you lose. But
yeah,
I doubt like what like that letting the Strokes do that is hurting the Heartbreakers business. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
suppose it's probably just hard to know when to let it go. And if if you look like an easy lay, everyone's going to fuck you.
No, totally. And apparently he is because I guess people keep stealing. People kept stealing anyway.
Yeah, Jesus. The
Yeah,
Verve had a terrible one with the Stones.
yeah. My understanding was they were given the green light, and then the Stones walked back on it.
Right. Yeah. It's just the fact that it's not really the song; it's the orchestral arrangement. But I don't know. Just can you just give them a break? Like the Verve will never be the juggernaut the Stones are. Maybe at the
No,
time, but like, come on, just
yeah.
let it, just relax. Like,
Did you ever like the Verve, by the way?
no, I tried that album a bit, but I haven't actually gone through it all. Like Lucky Man is good, and it was huge at the time. I always thought they were Oasis when I was a kid. I didn't really know the difference.
Yeah. Doesn't Noel
Just that,
Gallagher always say that they're the best of the that whole Manchester scene?
yeah,
So
I
yeah,
think the soul, the kind of the brains behind it. I think he had some sort of reappreciation by people and all that, but
that's
um,
interesting.
they kind of escaped me a bit. Yeah,
Yeah, no, me too. But
but
yeah, Bono,
Bono is 60.
Bono, 60 years old. We took a lot of dips and dives. Do you think you'll complete the playlist ever? I mean, I already know
Uh,
a lot of the songs.
no, yeah, I don't know. I did about a third of it, and yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah. Like,
eh,
I don't need to listen to Heartbreak Hotel,
no.
frankly, ever again. Well,
Yeah,
what's your time for Elvis like these
well, he
days?
stole all the music. No, I haven't like. He's probably one that I would mind listening to more, but I really haven't put in much work at all with him.
Yeah, I feel like you unconsciously just put in the work just by being alive. You know,
Yeah, like
we
Suspicious Minds is a good. I like that whole the lyrics and all that stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, the way that the Beatles and Led Zeppelin would have been inspired by him doesn't compute. It's like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but I'm not. I've never been like, oh, Elvis, that's what like hit me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
No, I just can't seem to put myself in the position. I guess that's the issue, when you influence people, you become way less impressive than in the years past because everybody's heard what you have led to, which is just by evolution going to be, match with the times better.
yeah,
So it's hard to go back and contextualize it and put it. But yeah, I have no time for it. Can't do it.
yeah. No wonder age he is 80. Actually, that's the sad thing. He wouldn't even be extremely old if he
Yeah,
hadn't
yeah.
died.
Like Little Richard, a similar
Oh
time
yeah.
died. What age was he?
86 songs to save my
Yeah, God, I wonder if Bono going to make this a bi-yearly thing or 10-yearly thing. Yeah, Little Richard, who I would have bet all the money that I have, which isn't much, was
life.
dead already, but he died on May 9th. I was 100% sure he was dead.
Yeah,
But
because he's from such a different time. It's crazy to think he was still going. Like
yeah, bizarre.
to
But yeah,
me, he
no,
seems even a bit older than Chuck Berry. I don't know. He just seems
Chuck Berry
like
died, right? A couple years ago.
yeah, about
Yeah.
the same age. Yeah, but I even thought Little Richard was like a little era ahead. Like kind of more
Yeah,
suit and tie performing. But
just looks like, yeah, it's that was shocking to me anyway. But did you ever have any much time for Little Richard? Did you ever listen to anything he did?
Tutti Frutti was all right.
Tutti Frutti, yeah, that's a fun song. It's probably the only one I know, frankly. Oh, Good Golly Miss Molly. Oh, I know lots of these.
Is Good Golly Miss Molly just like the same as Tutti Frutti, but Good Golly Miss Molly.
Yeah, yeah.
Good golly.
Not a whole lot of like it. I think they're the ones I know. Lucille, I know Lucille.
Oh, Lucille. Okay.
I'm Little Richard's biggest fan. Jesus, all these songs. But yeah, terribly sad though. I guess it's not
Bono
really.
60 or that Richard said.
Well, it's not really in the At the Gigs wheelhouse as much as say a Neil Peart would be. But
Yeah.
so you can't exactly eulogize him as well as you did with Neil Peart.
Yeah.
So
But
we're just
definitely a loss.
about songs' names, I guess. But yeah, that's all I have. Sorry.
Speaking of people who are 60, there's Jerry Seinfeld released a special during lockdown.
Yeah, 23 Hours to Kill, right?
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. I was looking for something that wasn't a 2-hour movie, so I settled on a 1-hour comedy special.
Yeah. And no, it's a nice little sweet spot, right? Like it and like easy enough to listen to. I guess we can get into the way that he structures his specials, right? He's kind of the opinion that a song and a joke are not interchangeable, but have the same weight. And if you go to see a performer, you want to see them tell the same jokes, just like you'd want to see, the Eagles play Hotel California or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that took me a long time to process when I kind of was paying more attention to comedy. But yeah, like I enjoyed it. The Pop Tart thing, like, just it was fun just to hear, like when he was talking about it, I thought, okay, is he just going to talk about growing up, and that's not really reusing material. That's just talking about growing up. And then it was getting closer and closer to the Pop Tarts, and he literally said the fresh thing. I was like, oh, but it was actually enjoyable. Like, it was like, he's a great comedian, so I yeah, maybe I'll reassess, like, completely throwing out the old jokes.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, but it's like if you lay, like, you say, if you look at like a prolific comedian, like I guess Louis. I know it's a bad word, but if you say Louis, you know, does like an hour every year, and like Seinfeld, like by my estimation, there might be 3 hours. Maybe that's way too little, but it could literally be 3 hours, and I'm like,
in a lifetime. Whoa.
I'm just trying to think of the specials that he did. You know, he even had that HBO special in '98 called "I'm Telling You for the Last Time."
Oh
Where
yeah,
he like fired all of his jokes. And it's like even in '98 he was recycling. And it's like
yeah.
it'd be
Well,
nice to
everyone's
have.
recycling now, aren't we? The green movement, we got to
Oh,
recycle.
totally. Seinfeld was ahead of the curve there. You know, using the same paper. He didn't waste paper on new jokes.
No.
You know, he just wrote the
Then there's
same one.
another special, which is literally him just showing you the old stuff. It's like, God, you're such a.
Was that Jerry before Seinfeld?
Yeah, was that like a
That's,
recent thing?
yeah, I think that's what it was called, Jerry before Seinfeld. But it's like, I don't know, you know, like, yeah, he's a great comedian, he's very funny and everything, but I think it's just a weird attitude to it. Because I don't think it's the same as a song. Like, yeah,
No.
funny is funny, but like, imagine having the same conversation with somebody all the time, even if it's
Yeah.
funny. You get bored versus
Oh yeah.
imagine hearing the same song over and over again. Like, still kind of like wouldn't be ideal, but it's much more interesting, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting area of comedy.
Yeah. You recycled the gay French king joke.
Yeah, yeah. I think the fact that maybe the era of YouTube, where there's these 5-minute clips of him doing it 5 years ago, it's like, okay, you said it, Jerry.
It's funny because Netflix like probably paid him ungodly amounts of money for that, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Just
yeah.
smile and a smile.
Smile and a smile. But yeah, I'm happy to have him back. More Seinfeld is always better than not more Seinfeld. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Good to have him back. Still very funny. Funnier than most comedians, even if it's the same jokes. And a lot of it's new, in fairness, as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. I suppose the idea of sprinkling the old stuff, like that's cool. But
Yeah.
it's hard to even know what is current, because I'm like, I don't know him enough to be like
Yeah,
positive.
keep up to date with it. Yeah, isn't it weird watching? Like I was watching that, and like it's like anything like created now or like written now, it's about a fictitious world that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, because of COVID.
Yeah, like even watching that special, you know, like it was just bizarre. And like, do you think anybody's like writing scripts now and it's like this world mightn't exist anymore to even film it in, or to even like it might look like a complete science fiction type thing or something now. You know, like just have people talking together.
I have a little bit of that where I almost feel like I'm watching, like I'm living I Am Legend, and these are just VHSs of old shows, and that's like the only thing I can watch, because it's
Yeah.
there's a crowd, and I'm really not looking forward to the people referencing it. Like, hey everybody, we can all sit beside each other. Oh, does he have COVID? Did he get his vaccine? Oh my God. And I was gay. Imagine this was the 80s. Like, you know, great. Like, it's just like, shut up.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, it'll be strange if we ever get to that point. Who knows?
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, to be a bit more vulnerable about these things. There's a New York Times article. You know that those people I sent you, Penny Fractions. They do this newsletter where he just writes about the music industry. But he sent.
Yeah, that was good.
He recommends these other links. Yeah, he's pretty good. But just how these kind of indie places, these where bands start off, like one guy was like crying, I think, in the middle of March, because it was going to be the last show he'd put on till who knows when. So
yeah,
I suppose it really, like, you know, of course, if you're running a business, you're losing money and that matters. But I'd say it is very emotional when places do open up. And I mean, I'm sure there will be genuine sincerity when the MC at Ruby says welcome back. But I guess
I feel like
it just seems like a cheap joke, like, to
yeah,
talk about it all the time.
well, yeah, it's cheap in the way that the cheapest joke could be, in that you know it will get a reaction because, again, it's a shared experience, like literally by
Yeah,
100% of the world right now. So like we're all going to respond to it in a certain like positive way. You know, if you hear that joke and it's like, yeah, it's lazy. You
yeah.
know?
It's actually, you know, when people were treating it like George Bush for comedians.
Yeah.
But I suppose I avoided that stuff as well. And then there's comedians that think it's hacky to reference it. So I suppose there's the you know, it is just if what you look for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's avoidable.
You'll find like crowd pleasers doing the crowd pleasing stuff, and the great comedians will still be the great comedians after all
Yeah,
this. This will really separate the great comedians from the
from
shitty ones.
the crowd pleasers.
The crowd pleasers, those terrible, terrible crowd pleasers, pleasing them crowds.
Speaking of unpleased crowds,
Hmm.
Electric Picnic won't have any because they're cancelling it.
Oh boy, it
They won't
seems
have
like
pleased seems but yeah. Sorry.
seems like we might have hinted at that last week. Like read the
Yeah, I
tea
think
leaves a little bit.
yeah, maybe they took the nation's pulse from our podcast because
Yeah, we were like, you
we
can't do it, guys.
yeah, we're saying like the bands are here, you're here, you can't have the
You can't.
festival on.
Yeah, there's no way to mix and merge into the two. So it's just impossible. Unless the fans want to go watch an empty stage. I don't see how it
Yeah,
can go
like
ahead.
it's almost poor. Like, I mean, I guess they should. There's a lot of people involved, so if they could have put it on, I suppose they were holding out. But it just looks kind of lame when the bands are dumping you and you're not going to stop. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
come on, like,
Like
um,
like pulling out of a festival, it's always like a real. Do we suffer any cancellations at Mad Cool on the one we went to? Anybody pull out of that one?
was there some chaos for a while, or just
I feel
waiting for
like
an act to be announced? I can't remember. There was some kind of, or maybe
I
that was
know.
the following year.
I think Taylor Swift pulled out even before COVID, perhaps, of this year's one.
Oh, okay,
But Mad Cool has been called off this year anyway, like everything else.
great festival.
I'm happy though we didn't actually kind of plant our flag in any festival this year, so we didn't
Yeah,
have
we
to
got lucky.
a long-winded refund process.
Yeah, I mean, because we had a lot of carrots on the string. There was those 10 Metallica concerts. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
any of the Chili Peppers concerts.
Chili Peppers, domestically all together now, Electric Picnic, lots of options. But God, I really want to see the Chili's though. God damn.
Oh,
Wait
I
for it.
know. That'll be. Oh, that's so important.
Like, what if live gigs don't happen again? We might have had a chance to see Frusciante, and then immediately not.
Oh my God.
Like
Oh,
that
it's
is.
terrible.
Oh boy. Yeah. No. You know what I hope? Like, imagine coming out of this, Slain 2021, 80,000 rabid Chili fans.
Yeah.
Commemorate the 19th anniversary of the 2003 one. That would be swell. But
That's just what we need. Yeah.
that'd be good.
Yeah. I wonder what his end game with that he quits so often. Like, what does he want from the Chili Peppers right now? Like, when does he exhaust his interest in doing it again?
Yeah, like, how you think there's any financial component to it? Like,
I don't
I mean, is
know.
it taking a fair chunk of the pie there?
Yeah, I'm in two parts to that because on the one side, I just think he's this artist who's kind of airy fairy about doing things and not doing things. But then another part of me is like, this dude is 50. Like, this is like a mature adult. He's been through a lot. Like, maybe it is financial.
Yeah, like maybe.
Um,
Well, he said that he wants to play in a rock band, and this is the only rock band he could see himself playing in. It's what he said he wants to do with his life now. He just wants to play in a rock band.
that's cool.
So, like, that seems like maybe it is financial, but that seems reasonably kind of go with the flow. He's doing what he wants to do. I hope.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think, I mean, but every time he returns, it's they go through the stratosphere. So there's got to be an energy where it's exciting being in that room
Yeah,
together.
like all their birthdays come together. Like this is our golden goose. He's back.
Yeah, fun. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's yeah. Well, hopefully, anyway, us and indeed the world get to see John Frusciante play live again.
And maybe Electric Picnic.
Maybe, maybe Electric Picnic whenever that comes back, if it can withstand this year's weathering.
But anyway, that was the story. They're cancelled.
Yeah, yeah. What's next then?
In the Metallica world, they have started one of the charities they're funding for COVID is the We Are the Road Crew initiative, which is the Crew Nation initiative, which is an initiative from Live Nation. So yeah, it's kind of, the notes are confusing, but so far, Crew Nation have received $10 million. So Live Nation sent them 5 million, and then Live Nation matched the 5 million, another 5 million that was donated from artists, fans, and employees. So that's nice, and the Metallica are helping that, and it's cool. On the website you can see their crew, and it just goes back to that how many people are involved in these things, and
yeah,
the people you don't see who are so essential, and it must be tough for them.
That they're taking them into consideration. You know, they are probably as aware as anybody of the you know, how important they are to the presentation. You know.
Yeah, like it must be a real family, especially like a guitar tech who's handling your instruments as much as you are.
Yeah.
I always wondered, when a tour ends in the good times, is there a retainer for these people? Like, what do they do when bands are not touring but they're kind of essential to the band?
Yeah, do they, like, is it like kind of freelance in the sense that if you're a Metallica roadie, then you could go be an Iron Maiden roadie, or you could, you know, just
Yeah,
how it works, or do they tend to be unique to the band?
well, I think, I don't know who I was setting up for, but maybe it was ELO. But
Yeah,
one of the guy I was working under had just flown back from the Foo Fighters American tour. So I don't know. I'm assuming there's one company who has people and go there. But
yeah.
I suppose, yeah, there's more intimate people who are on a first name basis with the band. I wonder how that all works out, especially when bands get older and richer and kind of lazier about being out there. They're not in their 20s touring endlessly. So yeah, I don't know.
I'd imagine a lot of bands would want as well, like a similar crew, like to be kept on.
Yeah,
Because
and
I
there
guess
must
over
be.
time, you know, they become like
Yeah,
family.
yeah, and it must be a real headache replacing people who know the ins and outs so well. So
Yeah, integral
maybe we can have
parts.
someone on the show sometime. I'd love to go into it
Yeah.
more.
That'd be awesome. Maybe, yeah, ask these questions for ourselves. How are you keeping in the when you're not touring? What do you do?
Yeah, show me your finances.
That's what
God,
people
yeah.
like to discuss on public platforms.
Yeah.
How they're doing financially. No, that's lovely altruistic of Metallica. Good for them.
Yeah, nice story. And last and definitely least, Dave Grohl has written a letter in the Atlantic about how live music is good. Like, oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, I was wondering the other day whether live music was good or not. And
Yeah,
then,
and I was wondering.
yeah, thank God I came across it. Cause,
Yeah, if only there was some, some guy, some authority I could ask.
I'm starting to lose faith. I was getting very okay with the thoughts of never seeing live music ever again.
Never again.
Like, much like those 60 songs saved David Bowie's life, that letter saved my live music life.
Yeah.
You know?
But
yeah,
but
the
it's
more that man
the
talks, the less I like him.
yeah, and it's such just a normal, music is good. Let's party kind of thing.
Yeah.
There was one insight I liked though. But the insight was, well, it's just information, where they were going to do a 25th year anniversary of the Foo Fighters. I think he's from Washington D.C. I think that's where Dave's from. But I
Yeah,
actually felt bad that that would have been a nice trip if we'd thought of it. But I suppose there's something about being a Foo Fighters fan where you'd have to be really, I don't know, there's that naivety of being like, woohoo, that'll be fun, where I just feel too cynical to go to those lengths to celebrate the Foo Fighters. But in hindsight, that would have been a cool thing to have planned.
Yeah, like Seattle would be a heck of a site, right?
Yeah.
Well, because you're in Washington, it's not the same. Where is Seattle geographically to Washington?
Well, there's Washington State.
Okay.
But I think. Oh, sorry. Yeah, now I'm confused. I have it that he was literally born like Washington D.C.
Oh, okay.
But now, yeah, I'm confused.
I always thought it was, yeah, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's see where he was born. Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
American singer-songwriter known for being...
His dad was a speechwriter, so maybe.
This is interesting. He is known for being the longest-serving drummer for the rock band Nirvana and the founder of the Foo Fighters. It's funny that Nirvana... Springfield, Virginia is his hometown. He was born in Warren, Ohio, U.S.
Okay, this is all really bungling this one.
Sorry, I didn't. For the sake of brevity, we should have just went with it.
Virginia, the state of Virginia. Okay. Anyway, yeah, well, it's gonna go too many tangents. But where was that enough? Look, I have to look up where that gig was on at least.
Well, I guess the Seattle hotbed would make sense, but maybe it's different. What
it's in
DC. What song off Wasting Light goes My Sweet Virginia? Dear Rosemary?
Dear Rosemary, My Sweet Virginia.
It
was You Are Not Me, Reality.
Arlandria, that was.
Yeah.
My Sweet Virginia.
God, that album will never leave us. It's like we wrote that album and don't like it. We can't get. It's like writing Saint Anger and people keep bringing it up. But
everywhere we go, people request songs from that album from us.
That's the other thing. It's like, am I lacking the endorphins, the psilocybin, the serotonin to be the serotonin to be a Foo Fighters fan to that degree? Like,
I think it's annoying. You need a certain good time naivety, but I don't say that in a negative way. I mean it like, I think we're missing it.
Yeah, yes, that's probably, because that sounds great. Like on paper, 80,000 people celebrating their 25th anniversary. That seems like a worthwhile event, but I didn't look for it.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like, it's, I don't know, there's that weird, like, I used to love them. I guess I may be associated with a period of my youth, and I think maybe, I had this with the Coen Brothers. I discovered them when I was young, and I loved them. And then when I got more seriously into film, I was kind of hesitant to revisit them. I was like, are they even serious? Are they even good? Or what's the deal? And I watched them again, and they're amazing again, still. Like, they held up and everything, and they're, like, great movies and everything. But I kind of got that with the Foo Fighters. They're not as good as the Coen Brothers, but...
Yeah.
But I got the same sense, like, I thought, like, was I just immature? So I was hesitant to revisit them, kind of. I was like, did my fandom come from an immature place? I don't know, but...
yeah, it's kind of crazy, because they're so big and so available. And I don't mean, like, we're, like too much. I just mean they're there to be enjoyed, as much as humanly possible. It's kind of weird how we're sort of... we kind of tap out so often with them, but, like, if you really wanted to have a good time, they're there all the time to...
The ubiquity overall is just grating, though. It's everywhere. Too much.
Even in the Atlantic now.
Even in the Atlantic. New Instagram where he tells stories. Everybody's probably already knows it. We won't revisit the Bowie fuck off story here, but he told that story on Instagram.
I don't even know that story. Like, Bowie said fuck off?
We'll visit it here. So he was writing a soundtrack for a superhero movie. I have no earthly idea what the fuck this was. Do you know this?
I've never heard of this.
And he thought that, I think the producer had worked with Bowie, and he was like, Bowie would be great for this song. You want to shoot him an email, see if he'd like to be part of it, which is obviously a terrible idea. So he messaged Bowie anyway, and he said, would you like to take part in this? He sent them the track and everything. And he sent back a very nice letter, and he was like, "No, this is not my kind of thing," because obviously it's not his fucking kind of thing. But anyway, and then they were all replied, "Yeah, it'd be great to make music together someday soon." And it's like, "That's settled now. Finally, fuck off," or something like that. He wrote back like a single email. Apparently, he was like in good, like a pleasant gesture.
Oh yeah, like yeah.
I like the idea of Bowie telling Dave Grohl to fuck off.
Yeah, well, there's no need to be saying, "Oh, we should totally write sometime." Like, no, go away.
Yeah, it's related to Bowie and the Foo Fighters. I guess Grohl's really got him on his mind. He said that their new record will be David Bowie's Let's Dance, well, their version of not appropriation, a big dancing. It's not a cover album of Let's Dance by David Bowie.
That's appropriate.
Yeah. It's but yeah. So there, he says it's going to be their David Bowie's Let's Dance record, which could go either fucking way. I don't know.
Yeah, because we were talking off air. I would think around the time of Bowie's death and there's reappraisal. I don't know, like more appraisal of him. I just thought Let's Dance for the real fans was controversial, or it was kind of the big pop release where like he actually wasn't as underground anymore. So like, does that hold up as an album? Or?
Well, he did that by design. So his managers apparently before that, his contract came up right before the Let's Dance era, and apparently he was getting fucked with money.
Oh, okay.
So he set out he withheld like what he knew were going to be massive pop hits until he was out of the contract to kind of give a finger to people that were fucking him. So he wrote his most commercial album, which made "Fuck You Money" and was a huge big thing. Which is cool that he like had that ability to just be like, well, I've got these hits lying around, and just do massive hits. So that's an interesting. I don't know if it got the acclaim as his other stuff, but I think it's well liked.
Yeah, I think it's liked. I suppose just
it's not as cool, I guess. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think the 80s were a dodgy era generally. I think it's one of those things where the first album of that decade is good, and then they go too far or whatnot. But nothing but the hits.
Did you know, by the way, sorry, this is David Bowie story time, but he, Life on Mars was written as a response to My Way?
No.
Yeah, so he heard a French version of My Way. It was sent to him, and he had to write the English lyrics to it. So he wrote like shit lyrics. I think it was like "A Fool's Heart Breaks," something like that. Anyway, and he wrote it anyway, and he heard it on the radio. Then this was before he became a megastar, and it was being sung by Frank Sinatra. And he was like, "Oh my God, this is my song! This is my song!" And the lyrics were completely different. They were My Way, the lyrics to My Way.
All right.
And he then decided to write his own version of My Way, which was Life on Mars. And if you actually listen to it, there's bizarre similarities between the two songs.
Right, Jesus.
Yeah, I only came across this on YouTube recently, like a breakdown of the two songs, because it was interesting.
Wow, so he was already writing, well, I don't know, not used lyrics, but he was already quite connected in the business.
Yeah. So he was like a gun for hire kind of, and he wrote. They sent him this French song, and they were like, "We'd like to use the song for Frank Sinatra. Could you write English lyrics for it? Because I guess you can't just everybody translate it." So he wrote his own lyrics. They obviously thought it was shit. They didn't tell him that they weren't using his lyrics though, and they used somebody else's, and it became My Way. And he decided, fuck off. I'm gonna write my own My Way. And he wrote Life on Mars.
That's great, and that's the Bowie song on Bono's playlist.
Oh shit! There we go. So, who's 60?
And the Foo Fighter gig was FedEx Field, Washington D.C., but no one is from there.
Yeah, interesting pick for a location. I guess given that it has no relevance to anybody. Where's Nate Mendel from?
Yeah. He's from Mars.
He's what?
He's from Mars because it's the world's most boring planet.
That's exactly it.
There's a bass player joke for you.
Oh, believe it or not, guess where Nate Mendel's from?
Oh God, DC.
Washington D.C.
No.
Yeah. So that's
Says a
where
lot.
yeah. He pulled those Nate Mendel strings to get to sleep in his own bed that night after the gig.
And now he's sleeping in his own bed for the foreseeable future.
Tired of all that touring. The grind got to him. But yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of grind, that's the. I think we could wrap up the show.
Quick announcement.
Oh, I
So
misspoke.
the Metallica Hardwired Self Destruct CD that we've been trying to give away for fucking forever now.
Mm-hmm.
We finally have a winner.
Oh right? Oh really? You're kidding me?
We have a winner, yes indeed. On Twitter, a handle "This is Stan," a reference to I think the Eminem song "Stan."
Oh, it's not the ghost of Little Richard.
Not the ghost of Little Richard. No. Has tweeted at the gigs. My recommendation: Yellowcard, Ocean Avenue. To continue along the lines of Stacy's Mom, released the same year. Hashtag at the gigs.
Right.
Hashtag 31. So. Yeah, so the song is Yellowcard by Ocean Avenue, or is it Ocean Avenue by Yellowcard? Hang on a second. Yes, Ocean Avenue by Yellowcard, released December 16, 2003. It's kind of got the same poppy, punky vibe. So, yeah, so congratulations, this is fun. Will the
congratulations.
Yeah.
And they're also Song of the Week. Is that part of the deal?
Yeah, why the fuck not? Let's make
why not? 2 for 2.
That's it. So Ocean Avenue by Yellowcard is our song of the week, thanks to This Is Stan, and we'll be in touch about getting the prize.
Yeah, we'll see how we can get it out to you. There might be some delays with the lockdown, but
yeah, we'll figure it out. Have to root out the CD wherever it is.
I hope it's in your CD player, playing every day.
Of course, yes, it's a great CD. Oh my god, losing my voice for it again.
Well, great CD and great show. So that's all from me.
And that's all from me.
We'll be here next week. We hope everyone's doing well. We appreciate the fan feedback.
Yes, thank you very much.
And more to come next week.
Yes, indeed. So thank you for watching At the Gigs episode 32.
At the Gigs was recorded in front of no studio audience.